Performance.
Hey yo! Performance.
Limited.
Performance. Limited. Motorsport. Performance. Power. Limited.
Good morning, sweet world, and welcome to the No Dunks podcast on the Athletic Network. It's Friday, April 19th, 2024. This is The Drop. I'm J.E. Skeets here in the Classic Factory, and alongside me, as always, Tass Mellis.
Performance lovers, this one's for you.
Next to him, it's the bearded one, my top shot hot boy, Trey Kirby.
Ayo.
Ayo. And last but not least, over yonder, making the magic happen, super producer JD.
Hello.
There he is. Here we are. It's Friday, the Friday before the start of the actual NBA playoffs. We've got play-in games tonight. We'll get into those. If you're joining us live on YouTube, hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe. Podcast listeners, 5 stars, ratings, and reviews. We got a fun one here. We are going to pick some potential postseason breakout performers. We're going to hold our first ever NBA Playoffs Instigator Draft. We will explain that. And near the end of the show, Tass will finally be doing a shot of nut dust thanks to the 14-68 Detroit Pistons. And there it is, very classy looking glass of nut dust.
Yes, thank you for whoever brought that in.
What is this, a wine glass of nut dust for ants?
Yeah. It's short.
Yeah.
It is short, but it's wide.
Yeah.
You know, it's like sometimes when you get a wide glass, you're like, oh, there's not a lot in here. But it's got some depth. I know people are concerned out there for me. You went to a hospital, you got hit by a car. You don't want to go to a hospital after eating dust. Do you think I'm concerned about eating dust after getting hit by a car? The answer is no. I am concerned about coughing it up and having to clean it up. This isn't like we're at NBA TV where we had people be able to clean it up. One of us is going to have to do some cleaning. That part.
Wes? Well, you don't have a peanut allergy, right? We forgot to ask.
No nut allergy over here.
Okay.
No.
Okay. That's coming up near the end of the show when we get into rapid fire. But yes, let's start with the play-in games. 2 more tonight here on Friday night. We'll start with the number 9 Chicago Bulls taking on the number 8 Miami Heat. Taco Trey Kirby here. This one's at 7 p.m. Eastern on ESPN. The winner advances to face Boston in the first round as the number 8 seed. Now, we're not going to have Jimmy Butler in this game. At least we don't think we are. Alex Caruso, sort of questionable. So both teams coming in a little limited. You know, the star player for the Heat offensively, the star player for the Bulls defensively. But what are you watching in this Chicago-Miami matchup here?
I wish Jimmy was playing, man, because the Bulls play better against good teams than they do against teams that are missing somebody. So I think the motivation would have been there if Jimmy was playing. But the main thing to me is the Bulls are going to have to match Miami's physicality. They come in and they're going to hit you in the face. We know a great article on The Athletic today talking about Bam Adebayo as the next keeper of Heat culture. He's going to be playing tonight. He has some good games against the Bulls. He can definitely take it to Nikola Vucevic, but it does feel like this is going to be a close game because the Bulls played 44 clutch games this season and the Heat played 42. So it's going to come down to it, I think. The Heat physicality is big. They're going to throw a zone at the Bulls, and the Bulls are not always great at beating the zone. And then also Chicago needs to limit Miami's three-point shooting. With no Jimmy out there, you figure Hero's probably going to be shooting quite a bit. Duncan Robinson maybe gets a chance in this one. He'll probably try and generate some offense. I don't think Rozier's going to be playing.
No, he's not.
That hurts, but they're going to have to spam threes. I think Miami will. And the Bulls are like the worst three-point shooting team in the league, or at least from a makes per game standpoint.
Yeah.
So I think that's going to be big. It feels like it's going to come down to DeRozan and Hero, who makes the shots at the end.
They're coming off a victory while the Miami Heat are not. And I think that's a big concern. As you said off the top, the Bulls play better against, sort of those good teams that they get amped for. And this Heat team is different because Jimmy Butler, very doubtful. There is a small chance I guess he plays.
His agent was trying to tell us he's playing.
Yeah,
Shams doesn't know anything.
That's a very strange one.
To a doctor yet.
Terry Rozier is doubtful. Although, as you said, Duncan Robinson will be back for them, most likely. He's probable in this one. So I'm taking the Heat because I do think their bench is going to play way better than the Hawks bench did. The Bulls were able to just run over the Hawks bench, and that changed things. Heat bench were awesome against the Sixers. They are full of Heat culture. They are very, very, very good at that. they just needed some scores in that game, and Hero missed a lot of open shots, and maybe the altercation he apparently got into with Jimmy Butler on the bus leaving the arena. Ira Winderman reported that Hero and Jimmy Butler yelling at each other, Jimmy Butler saying 9 for 27, and Tyler Hero throwing a punch at Jimmy Butler that missed, and then Butler saying 9 of 28, you missed again.
This wasn't real.
Ira Winderman?
It's fake.
Okay,
it's fake.
either
It's
way.
just a fake aggregation.
Yeah.
Fake aggregation.
I tracked it down too. I was like, no way.
Yeah.
Damn.
I gotta see what Ira's saying.
Yeah.
I got AI'd
Yeah.
because just like Twitter's getting AI'd all over the place.
Have you seen the Steph Curry clip?
That was
Yeah.
messed up,
AI
man.
version of that one?
Yeah.
That was crazy.
Where he is talking, it's fake,
Yeah.
but it's his voice,
Well-
and it's him looking like he's talking, but it's all fake. Yeah.
He's talking about Clay's missed shots,
Yeah,
which
everything.
which Twitter AI basically had a headline about that we'll get to later. That Clay was throwing bricks at
trust
the
anything,
Sacramento houses, breaking windows. So either way, I think Hero will be better. I think their shooters will be better, especially because Duncan Robinson will be back. So I think the Heat are in a good spot here.
Oh, I do not. I do think it's going to be close. Trey, you're right. But I like the chances of DeRozan and Kobe White, if I'm being honest, down the stretch to make big plays, put pressure on, get to the line, hit those shots a little bit more than I like the Heat without Jimmy Butler. I mean, it's Tyler Hero. Now, he had a brutal game, really, for a good majority of that game against the Sixers, but he hit some timely ones late to sort of keep them around, so he can do it. But I still, if I'm picking between those two options, I'm going to go with DeRozan and / Kobe White over Hero and whoever else is helping out. Bam needs to have a monster
you
bounce
think
back game.
Bam Adebayo would bounce back?
He
you
has
think so?
to.
You don't think? I don't think Kobe White can have the same performance. That was
That
was amazing.
Yeah, I mean, if he goes for
40?
42, that would be awesome. But he is going to have an opportunity because the Heat will do whatever they can to limit DeRozan and get the ball out of his hands. So it'll be on Kobe to play 4-on-3 and maybe hit some threes.
Okay, so you're taking the Heat, Tass. I'm siding with our Bulls fan here and Trey Kirby.
It's
I think
great
Chicago
to see.
gets it done.
It's great to see the Taco jersey again. I haven't seen that in a minute.
I'm wearing all of the Bulls gear I have this week, just in case the season ends tonight. I played pickup basketball this morning in a full Michael Jordan uniform. Red shorts, red jersey, Jordans on the feet.
Did you go get like a bagel or a coffee after? Is there going to be a photo going around of a grown man dressed in an entire NBA outfit? We've seen that before.
Yeah, exactly. We'll see.
Okay. Let's move to the other game tonight, the play-in game. It's in the West, of course. It's the number 9 Kings visiting New Orleans to take on the number 8 seeded Pelicans. That's at 9:30. This is on TNT. So we got the ESPN, we got the TNT. So yeah, exactly. I guess that's how they split them this year with the conferences. Yeah, what are you watching for in this one here, Tass, with the Kings and Pelicans, no Zion Williamson for New Orleans?
Yeah, no Zion. So I'm taking the Kings. I know the Pelicans will be relying on Brandon Ingram to be their number 1 guy. He hasn't been himself recently, although he is awesome. He's going to have to take over and feed all those shooters that they were awesome with against the Kings. It was just 8 days ago. They played 8 days ago, and they hit 22 threes. Although I do believe in the Sacramento Kings backcourt to defend, whether it's CJ McCollum, who was on fire in that game, or Brandon Ingram, or whoever, just to get out there, because they were awesome against the Golden State Warriors. The Keon Ellis and Keegan Murray were just good at fighting, and they have an inspiration. They were so good against the Warriors, and Fox and Sabonis were good, but not great. So when you look at these games, you think guys like that will have a bounce-back game. And so I just believe in them a little bit more. I'm taking the Kings.
Sacramento has been playing really good defense for the last 2 months. The NBA's number 3 ranked defense since March 1st held the Warriors to 94 points. Keon Ellis doing a great job. So was Keegan Murray, honestly, early in the game on Steph. Can those guys continue to play at an elite level defensively? A lot of people were saying we were just completely writing off the Pelicans, after the Zion injury, after they lose that game, now going up against Sacramento. Do you think they have a fighter's chance here? I was going to say they're still at home, but I'm not sure that's a good thing.
Bad.
They don't win there for some reason. But, they obviously have talent, and these guys can get hot. McCollum could have a bounce-back game. Of course, Ingram is still a star. He looks bad, but then Trey Murphy, all these guys. You think they got a chance here? Where are you leaning tonight?
I think the Pelicans definitely have a chance. I don't think the Kings are miles ahead. Even missing Zion for New Orleans, it comes down to hitting 3-pointers, though. I think the Pels have hit 14 per game in their wins, only 10 per game in their losses, and that's exactly how it went against the Lakers. They went 9 for 30. CJ McCollum, a big offender there. Meanwhile, Sacramento made 18 against Golden State. 16 of those came from their starters as well. On the flip side, Sacramento, it's all about protecting the ball. New Orleans forces a whole bunch of turnovers. Sacramento kind of middle of the pack and giving the ball up. That's an easy way for New Orleans to score. But if, Brandon Ingram has a little bit better of a game, though he has not looked good since coming back from his injury. You got to imagine CJ is a little bit better in this one. He was playing pretty well at the end of the season and then just had a complete dud in game number 1. If those two guys are able to hit from the outside, maybe Trey Murphy gets hot shooting the ball 80,000 feet into the sky, somehow still swishing it. I think it still could be close, but I'm with Tass. I'm going Kings here.
Yeah, winner advances to take on OKC in the first round as the 8th seed. I expect you would say that the Thunder are almost cheering for the Pelicans to pull off the upset tonight? Would they rather face a Zion-less Pelicans team than the Kings, or do you think they care at all?
Yeah.
A better matchup for them? What do you think?
Yeah, I think they'd rather take the Pelicans.
Yeah.
I think the Kings probably up against Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. This is what it comes down to with the Thunder. He's got to be good. They were 2-4 in the last couple weeks without him when he was injured. And I do think watching Keegan Murray guard Steph the first half and then Keon Ellis guard Steph the second half bodes well for them up against Shai. I mean, nothing bodes well against Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, but if you have each one of those guys can be relentless and then they don't have to do too much offensively. They can take a little break with De'Aaron Fox and Domantas Sabonis, and then they can build a bit of a wall. I do think, the Keon Ellis thing is great for them. He's kind of he's an old, young guy. He just plays a little relentless. And Keegan Murray, his second time here, he has been trained to be a secondary guy with the Kings. And I just believe in those guys a little bit. And I think that bodes well. I just like the Kings makeup right now is awesome.
Okay, so I'm with you guys, just for the record here. I do think Sacramento. I guess I'm taking both road teams, both number 9 road teams to advance and grab that 8th seed tonight. But we'll see. We got those 2 games on, and you guys will be locked in for those. Let's do a little big picture playoff look, though, as we get into the actual series. We got 8 of them this weekend. There's 4 on Saturday, and there's 4 on Sunday. We can show you the schedule real quick because we know all 4 series on Saturday. We're starting with the Magic and Cleveland series. Then we got the Suns and Wolves, Sixers, Knicks, Lakers, Nuggets. You are going to be on your couch a whole lot this weekend because, man, these are some great series here. And then on Sunday, we're waiting for the 8 seeds still, but we know when they're playing. It'll be the whatever team goes on to take the Celtics at the 1 o'clock spot. Then it's Mavs, Clippers, Pacers, Bucks. And then, again, either the Kings or Pelicans taking on the Thunder. A lot of basketball. But my first question is, do you have 1, 2, 3, whatever, potential breakout performers that we could see, not just from this weekend, but the entire postseason? You have a couple of names to watch.
I have precisely 3.
There you go.
Paolo Banchero making his first appearance in the playoffs. Very excited to see this guy. And not totally sure how it's going to go. I'm looking at Paolo's shooting percentages, 64% in the restricted area. That's pretty good.
Okay.
37% literally everywhere else, outside of the restricted area. We're not even talking 3-pointers, which he's shooting better this year, but shots in the lane, he's shooting in the 30s as well. Almost a quarter of his points come at the free throw line. He's going to be going up against a good defensive team in the Cavs. He's likely going to be going up against Evan Mobley, who's a solid defender as well, with Jared Allen just waiting back there to help at the rim. So it could be a struggle for Paolo, but I'm excited to see how he tries to figure this out. People defending him differently. They're going to have to put Garland and Mitchell into a ton of pick and rolls and then just let Paolo play bully ball.
Right.
So I think that'll be cool to watch. I think Jalen Brunson has a chance to become a massive star in this one with the way that the bracket has kind of played out for New York.
Yeah.
They're playing an injured Embiid in round 1, or at least a slow Embiid in round 1. So if they win that one, they go to play either a young Pacers team or a Bucks team that hasn't looked great this season. Might still be missing Giannis. We don't know at that point. And then they're in the conference finals. That would be amazing for New York. People will love watching this guy. And then my final potential playoff performer is Jalen Hot Rod Williams. That work? That work, you think?
It's going to be even more confusing.
Yeah, you're probably right. It's going to be more confusing, but Jalen Wing Williams.
There you go.
He's the best off-the-dribble jumper shooter in the entire NBA. Shot 50% this season. you get a lot of open jumpers off the dribble in the playoffs, and you got to make them. So Shea will be doing his thing for the Thunder, but I think Jalen Williams is also such a good clutch player and such a good secondary scorer that if he's knocking down jumpers like he has all season, people are going to love it.
Yeah. Hot Rod's good. Hot Rod is good. It's us slightly older fans that know Hot Rod Williams. Like, the younger guys don't know.
No.
Recycle.
Well, does that make...
Exactly.
Are we going to call Jalen Williams with the YLIN? Are we calling him Hot Plate then?
Hot Plate.
Sure. Are we doing that? He is bigger. I mean, I wouldn't say he's big like that, but yeah. Okay, I like those ones. You went sort of two All-Stars and one maybe top 5 MVP candidate, but I like that. Really like that last one. I had Jalen Williams as well, like coming out party probably for him because he's just not on the level of those other guys yet. But that guy's also clutch in the fourth. I mean, all season long, he takes over for a couple minutes at times and helps OKC win. So I could see him having a huge breakout performance this postseason. But anyone else on your list?
Jaylen Brown, I think you can call him a breakout performer. I know people.
Brown?
Yeah, I know this. I just because we just said it, I don't have him on my list. But some people just think, Celtics are good. Jason Tatum, man, that guy's good, and don't understand what Jaylen Brown can do. This is year 8 for him. Going to the finals, he could be a little bit more spectacular. Everybody's just overlooking every Boston Celtic when you look at everything here. So that's why I would consider them breakout performers. But I'll stay with a guy who's sort of a complimentary guy now with the Indiana Pacers. It's Pascal Siakam. I think could have an awesome series against the Milwaukee Bucks because the Pacers brought him in for these moments. The Bucks will focus on Tyrese Halliburton, sure, but although Pascal Siakam was traded from the Toronto Raptors because he wasn't a number 1 guy, it just didn't work out that way. As a second option, he thrived. He was awesome as a complimentary player, and he's going up against a Giannis List team to start. He's going up against Bobby Portis. I think he'll feel comfortable with that. He did beat the Bucks when they won the championship 5 years ago. He was pretty damn good against them. So I think, it's a little Jaylen Brownish to me. Like, he's a secondary guy. He may not go deep here in the playoffs as a second guy, but I guess Jaylen Brown's going to make it freaking deep. But that's why I'm just taking Pascal Siakam. People just forget he'll have a good series. I'm just hoping, if I say that they win, because is a breakout performer a guy who gets eliminated in the first round?
Yeah, it's a little more difficult, but again, like they could have a huge game 1. We could be talking about them on Monday. It's like, whoa, this player came out of nowhere. So yeah, I think they still can.
Yeah, I would say Evan Mobley is another guy. I know people just forget about him, but there's just so much for the Magic to do in taking out Donovan Mitchell, dealing with Jared Allen, dealing with a backcourt and Darius Garland matchup there. That's hard. So Evan Mobley, I think, is a good series for him. He's way better than he was last season in the playoffs. I think he will be. He shot the ball well from 3. He doesn't have to shoot it a lot, but he was 46% in March, so he'll be complimentary. I think he'll be good.
I'll pick another pacer, too. A lower level than Pascal Siakam, but Aaron Nesmith for a guy that could have like a little breakout here. This guy was picked by the Celtics. He was supposed to be a sharpshooting wing. It didn't work out after a couple years in Boston. He makes his way to Indiana in a trade, and he's been really good. I mean, he plays his ass off. 12 points a game, 4 boards, almost a steal and a block. And I think his shooting is going to be important in this series. He's going to get looks. They're going to give them to him, I believe. And he can catch fire. He's had 10 games this season where he hits 4 or more 3-pointers. I could see a couple of these games against Milwaukee here in the playoff matchup and maybe moving on if they upset them. So I'll go Aaron Nesmith as a guy to watch. And then one more, Bruce Brown 2.0, Peyton Watson. For the Nuggets. There's a team that's likely going to go far, so you're going to see a lot of them, and he's a goddamn highlight reel every time he's out there because he's blocking insane shots, and he can just fit that role. He's not a great shooter, but he doesn't matter. He does all the cutting. When you play with Jokic, just cut, man. He's going to find you. So I think Peyton Watson, at maybe to the casual, be like, oh, who is this guy? Where's this guy come from? So a couple more names to add there. Next question. Which team or player is under the most pressure? Heading in to these first-round series and into the postseason. Trey, do you have a player or a team?
Well, team-wise, I think it's the loser of Minnesota versus Phoenix. Whoever loses that one, what kind of questions are you answering over the summer? As for a player, I kind of think it's Damian Lillard, because this is exactly why the Bucks traded for Dame Lillard, to be able to win games when Giannis is out. They didn't want it to be in the playoffs, Giannis potentially missing an entire series, but for the Bucks to take down the Pacers, Dame's got to be Dame time, and he's had some huge games in the games that the Bucks won where Giannis wasn't playing, and then the games they lose, he's just kind of pedestrian, and that's been most of the season, unfortunately, for Dame Lillard. So I think he's got to elevate his game. I still think it's possible. I know he's been dealing with like a core injury, which kept him out back in the day for Portland at the end of his tenure there. So that's not encouraging going into the playoffs. He's also going to be targeted defensively, obviously, against Halliburton or whoever they try to hide him on. They're going to bring him into a lot of pick and rolls and make him defend, which takes his legs out on the offensive end as well. But I do think Dame is still capable, but he's got to show up here, and he's got to look like Portland Dame once again.
It's a good one.
Yeah, there's lots of guys who are under pressure. I'll stay in the East. I think Tyrese Maxey has some pressure there with the Philadelphia 76ers because he's going to have OG Anunoby guarding him. That's tough. That's the guy who will be on him. And Joel Embiid, if he plays anything like he did in the play-in tournament game where he's sort of on the perimeter, he's hanging out at the nail, just kind of chilling and not getting the ball, Maxey has to be awesome. This is his first postseason as a number one guard. He played with James Harden last year, who had the ball. So I think the Knicks are going to be focusing on defense. It's on Joel Embiid. And I think they'll do that fairly well, just because they are the frickin' New York Knicks, and because I just read an article from Fred Katz on The Athletic about how they're going to guard Embiid. There's going to be obviously some one-on-ones, but there's going to be plenty of doubles from all sorts of guys, and so
Because they don't play zone.
they don't
won't
play
see zone from the Knicks.
No, some scrambled doubles are going to happen, and that's fun. So Maxey, I don't know what Embiid said to him after they won the game in the play-in game. There was something weird there where he's saying like, "Come on, man." I think he was basically saying, "Do more, dude." Do more. Dude. So we shall see. This is against the freaking New York Knicks, so it'll be fun.
I'm going to go with Luka Doncic. I think he's facing some pressure here. Hear me out. He has a team now because he lost twice to this Clippers team in the postseason a couple years ago. And we just went, well, it was really Luka versus them. And look at the numbers he did, and he was incredible, but they didn't advance. Now he's got his Robin, who he says is his Batman, in Kyrie. They have a incredible defensive team after the trade deadline, bringing in Gafford, bringing in P.J. Washington, Derek Jones Jr. He's got his bigs there, his role bigs, be it Gafford, Derek Lively II. Like, this is a great squad. And, they're being picked by a lot of people, ourselves included, to beat the Clippers here in this first-round matchup and finally get one on them. You've got Kawhi coming in already injured. We don't even know his status for Game 1, so it's setting up nicely. They weren't even in the postseason last year, Luka's team. I think there's a little pressure just to get by the Clippers, and then you figure it out from there. But this is a great team. This is the best team around Luka. So you would expect them to maybe start flirting with another conference finals or even beyond, because that's what happened last time they were in the postseason. Though he wasn't even there to start. That was Jalen Brunson setting the tone in that series against Utah, and then they went on to beat the Suns in 7. So I'm going to go oddly Luka, a darling in the NBA, but I think they have to beat the Clippers here. And if they don't, then it's like, oh God, that's not good with the squad around them.
Yeah. I mean, we'll see if Kawhi plays. I think that's the huge. If Kawhi plays, I think that Dallas could lose this series, and people wouldn't be that upset about it, and would probably convince themselves that Dallas actually won it.
Yeah.
People already think they won some of the series prior, which they didn't. But if Kawhi plays, I think that a little less pressure on Luka, and I think if he makes it to the conference finals, that's impressive because he'd probably go up against Denver in the next round.
Yeah, and the Clippers are keeping the Kawhi status a little bit under the radar. He could come out and play Game 1 as Ty Lue got up to the podium there. He said he's going to try. We'll see. But he could come out in Game 2, Game 3, and that's why in that series I think there's Clippers that are under pressure too. I mean, James Harden is a free agent this coming off season, and if Kawhi's not there, can he score? He has struggled recently. He hasn't been himself. 36 from the floor, 26% from 3 in the last 12 games. Paul George is also under pressure. He has been awesome, but it's all about the future, right? And that's why I think part of what's going on with Luka, they've got a lot of guys signed for next season. So you want to advance just because it's the same thing. We're probably going to run back the same team. Clippers is very similar, I think. Although Harden's not signed, Kawhi is there, Paul George has a player option. It's going to be fairly similar, and these guys are just getting older. So there's pressure. There's lots of pressure in the West. That's why it's friggin' fun.
Yeah, for sure. All right, let's get a prediction here. Game 1 upset. Who's most likeliest to pull off the upset here over the weekend?
Bulls over Celtics.
Bulls over Celtics. Now that
Game 1
is one hell of a take, especially not even knowing the Bulls will be in that series. That's quite the call.
Imagine that. I mean, but I like when you're looking for an upset, like, would the 76ers, the 7th seed, beating the Knicks in game 1, is that really an upset?
It's funny you say that. I think the Hoop Collective was talking about it on, I guess, last night's podcast or whatever. When you look at all the matchups outside of the Nuggets-Lakers and then probably the 2-1-8s, whoever they're playing, Thunder and then the Celtics being the number 1 seeds, is there really a whoa, that would be insane if the lower seed beat the higher seed, even in the 2-7 Knicks-Sixers matchup, where they obviously have Joel Embiid and their record's whatever it is, 32-8 when the guy plays. They're an elite team when he's there. And I think there's a lot of truth to that. So, yeah, wouldn't be shocking if the Pacers beat the Bucks. Definitely not shocking in either of the 4-5 matchups. Yeah. Or, of course, the Suns-Wolves. So I just asked you a trick question. Maybe the answer is
and
both Celtics.
The Knicks are only a 3-point favorite in that game 1. A 2-7, just a 3-point game favorite. That's a very modest number, I would say.
How about Lakers-Nuggets? Would that be an upset?
100%.
Win game 1, I think.
100%.
What, Nuggets have won 9 straight against the Lakers?
so.
Definitely. I mean, they won
9.
all 4 this season, and then they swept them out of the playoffs last year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that would still be a little bit of an upset. But I think that, that's like we said, that's probably the best chance the Lakers have is winning game 1.
Yeah.
They gotta do it.
I do think the Timberwolves Suns, win by Suns is sort of an upset. Although it's not a huge upset to be beat by a team that won 49 games versus your team that won 56 games.
Right. And a team that owned them in the regular season.
Yeah. It feels a little like a 7-10 NCAA March Madness. Not big gap. But at the same time, this was a Timberwolves team that almost won the freaking 1 seed. And you got Anthony Edwards here, his first game 1 at home. It's been 20 years for Minnesota, so there's pressure there. There's pressure on Anthony Edwards because Karl Anthony Towns hasn't been playing all that well. So while the Timberwolves are trying to figure out what the hell we do against this Phoenix Suns team that demolished us, it's not going to be pressure on Jaden McDaniels. It's not going to be pressure on Gobert to score. It's not going to be pressure on Conley to score. Go down the road. Nikhil Alexander. It's going to be on Anthony Edwards. So I think there's pretty good amount of pressure on there. And I do think the Suns beat them.
In game 1.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if that's an upset, who knows?
Okay. Let's hear from you guys out there in the stream team. Let us know in the comments. Tweet at us at NoDunksInc. Very excited for the playoffs this weekend. All right. This is something new here for us, TK. Our 2024 NBA Playoffs Instigator Draft. How did this come about?
Well, I saw a tweet earlier this week from Cleveland HQ who posted a picture of Mo Wagner along with the caption, "I already know this MF about to be so annoying round 1." And that's true. Mo Wagner is an annoying guy to play against. He looks infuriating. So we put together the outline of an Instigator Draft. We'll each pick 3 players to track for the rest of the playoffs.
Okay.
And here's the scoring. For a technical, you get a point. A flagrant 1, 1 point. Flagrant 2, 2. An ejection is 3 points. And a suspension, 5 points, I would say, per game. So if you get suspended 2 games,
wow,
10 points.
Oh, that's huge. I also spelled suspension wrong.
Suspense, son.
Yeah, don't make your graphics at 6:30 in the morning. That's a little tip for everybody out there.
It's the Kobe statue.
Son.
Suspense. But
Bomb wafer.
do you get multiple points for technicals? Like if a guy has 5 technicals throughout the playoffs, you get 5 points.
5 points, yeah.
Okay.
Every tech is a point.
Okay.
I mean,
This
wow.
is fun.
Okay, so how are we deciding? Are we going to fight each other to figure out who gets the number 1 pick?
No, it's a technical.
Oh, okay.
Let's just go. Let's do it no dunk style. You get the first pick in the first round, first pick second round, first pick third round.
Okay,
Just go
okay.
straight down. You got to balance though. You want the hotheads.
I know.
But you also want somebody to go deep in the playoffs.
I know.
That's
Probably.
kind of key. Yeah.
That's what makes this very difficult. A lot of the guys I have on my list that I'm focusing on, I'm worried aren't going to be there. Like in the second round.
Yeah, the draft boards went crazy when the Warriors were eliminated in the play-in game because, I mean, everybody was taking Draymond number 1.
Yeah, that's true. And I assume we can select Mo Wagner if we want to?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not going to take him with my first pick. I am going to go with... Are they going to win? Okay. Give me Patrick Beverly.
Great call.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I mean,
That's a nice
again,
one. That's a nice
I
one.
have the Bucks winning that series in 7, so a long series helps this. Then I have them moving on, but you never know. Pacers could upset them. But Patrick Beverly, yeah, come on. We're gonna get some. There'll be a flagrant. I mean, the good thing with him, there's always a possibility he goes too far.
Oh, yeah.
An ejection, maybe a suspension. So I'll go Pat Bev.
Yeah, I'm glad you picked him. I had him on my list, didn't want to pick him. I do want to pick somebody going deep just to have that assurance.
Okay.
So I am looking at the Boston Celtics, and I did look at the most technical fouls this year. Kristaps is up there. Jason Tatum is also up there. So I'm just looking for sure points here when I pick Jason Tatum.
Okay.
It's not a
So
high pick. He's not getting ejected. There's no way he's getting ejected.
Maybe a flagrant one you could see. I mean, it's the playoffs.
Yeah.
No easy
Hard
buckets.
hit, yeah.
Probably
exactly.
not. And they're going to probably play a few games in each series. That's not good. But either way.
Okay.
Tatum.
You got Tatum just for the techs.
Yeah, maybe he'll be upset about the loose whistle in the playoffs. I had him on my list as well because they're going to go deep, and he does get a lot of technicals.
Yeah.
So I think I'm going to take a page out of Tass's playbook here and go with Luka Doncic. Yeah.
I was hoping to get him.
He's a temper boy. That is a temper boy.
Yeah.
And, they should at least play a lot of games in the first round. And then if they go to the second round, we'll see how it goes. But I got to go with the donk.
He is a temper boy, but am I crazy to think he's chilled out a little bit? Like since the
Yeah, he only
since
had
the deadline?
16 technicals this
Yeah, but
season.
how many? I want to know how many came in the last, I guess second half of the season or since the trade
I don't know.
deadline. It
I know he
feels
had-
less.
I
to
think
me.
he had 3 rescinded as well this year.
All right. Ooh, what do we do with that?
If they call it in the game, it counts.
Okay. All right, so Beverly, Tatum, and Luka off the board. You get the first pick in the second round.
Yeah, this is a difficult one here. I'm looking at these, and I see a guy up there in the technical foul numbers. It's not even in the playoffs, but I think he's going to be in the playoffs. De'Aaron Fox. Why would I take him?
What?
I do think he's going to be there. I'm not taking him. I just wanted to say his name. I just wanted to say his name. Yeah, I'm going to take a risky McRiskerton here. I am going to take a risk. I'm going to go with Bobby Portis.
Nice one.
I was going to
Nice
take
one.
$2. Damn it.
Yeah, I almost wanted to save him, but I'm glad I didn't.
He would have been gone. I would have taken him.
Good.
Bobby, crazy Bobby, man. Because he's obviously it helps. He's an interior player, so the hard fouls, the flagrants, you catch somebody on the head, he'll get into it with people.
He's starting most likely now with Giannis out, so I'll play more minutes.
And I think he gets a lot of texts. Yeah, so
he still has those eyes. He still gets mad.
You think he gets more text because of having bulging eyes?
Oh, that
They think he's more upset than he really is.
technical.
Yeah.
Big eyes.
Incredulous look.
All right, Trey, you're up.
This is tough. I'm going between 2 guys who are playing against each other, and I know they're going to get into a skirmish.
I know who you're taking. I'll take the other one.
All right, I'm going to take Gobert. Rudy Gobert.
You swarmed on me, actually. I didn't know who you were taking. Okay, so Rudy,
good one.
you think Rudy and Nurkic?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. That's really, really good.
And he gets a lot
You're
of
gonna
text,
go Rudy.
period.
Well, people love to get into it with Rudy Gobert.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Rudy, taking a big guy. I thought you were going to go between what inspired this, Mo Wagner, and George Niang.
Yeah,
Because,
that's great, man.
that feels like that's going to happen at some point. So, just for hilarity, I'll take George Niang.
It's a good
All right,
pick.
I'll take the minivan. I'm building my team on the idea, like, you guys are playing it a little maybe more flagrants and technicals. I'm playing ejections and suspensions here. I'm going for big points.
Niang has 12 technicals this season.
Oh, okay, good.
That's
I'll take
ridiculous.
that too.
That guy should not have that much leeway to be getting that many technicals.
All right, give me Niang, and hopefully he gets into it. Mo Wagner there, and that'll help my points. All right, so
Help your points.
we got 6 guys off the board. TK, you have the first pick here.
I got 2 Western Conference fellas. Need an Eastern Conference fella. I do kind of want to take Mo Wagner. He's a backup guy, and they could easily lose in the first round, but I'm also thinking, what about... I just forgot who I was thinking about. Jalen Suggs. That was the other guy I'm considering, also a Magic.
Wow.
I don't know. Give me Mo Wagner.
Oh,
Give me Mo Wagner. Just because he inspired it, I gotta take him.
Yeah, that's a reputation pick. I mean, he does that kind of thing. And your pick for... Oh, I'm not... You want to go second?
I guess I'm up next here.
Okay.
I think I am.
Yeah.
Okay, I got 4 guys left on my board here that I'm deciding between. I might be tipping my hand to Tass here, but you said Nurkic. I think that's a great pick, especially if you think the Suns can beat the Wolves.
Yep.
Aaron Nesmith, a guy fouls a lot.
Yep.
I like a guy that fouls a lot.
He fouls a lot.
There's, and like I said, he plays hard. I really like him. And you can see he would just get under people's skin there. maybe it's Bobby. Like, who knows, right? I mean, it's one of these guys. Hartenstein, because he's taking on Embiid.
Yeah.
You know? I don't mind that. And then Anthony Edwards, like your Lucas, like your Tatums, gets a lot of texts. Like, a lot of chirping texts and stuff like that. I'm going to go, give me Nurkic. I'll take Nurkic. Yeah, I liked your thinking there. He's going to get into it with Rudy.
Wow. One of those two has to win.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
That could help me. Okay.
I do like the Rudy pick. Got me thinking about the Wolves. He could be fighting with his own teammates if things aren't going well. Who knows?
Literally, yeah.
Literally, it could be anybody. So I do like the Anthony Edwards pick. I did see that. Yeah, Niang has 12 techs this season. Max Strus has 12
what's going on here?
How is that possible?
How is that one possible?
Aaron Nesmith's a good one because he's going to be guarding Damian Lillard. There's going to be plays where you have to say, okay, you're pissing that guy off. You're technical foul.
That's what I'm thinking. Nesmith on Dame. Bobby comes up to set the pick. A lot of pushing. Like you're throwing elbows into me. You're dropping a knee into me. You know, it takes till game 3 until these teams start to hate each other.
That's a good one. But Trey also did give me the feeling that you got to have at least some Westies with your Easties. I've got Tatum and Bobby Portis. So I'm taking Anthony Edwards.
Okay, wow.
Hopefully he plays a long first round at the very least, because I do think the Phoenix Suns are winning that series. But he could get into it with somebody, that's for sure.
And he's a high-tech guy.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah, I love that. Okay, so again, 1 point for a tech, 1 point for a flagrant 1, 2 points for a flagrant 2, 3 points for an ejection, 5 points for a suspension. Here are our teams in the Instigator Draft. I have Patrick Beverly, George Niang, the minivan, and Yusuf Nurkic. I got some great Temper Boys on this team. I wish I wore my Temper Boy shirt today. Loving that. Okay, Tass has Jason Tatum, Bobby Portis, and Anthony Edwards.
Tass has a good team.
Tass has got a
Tass's team is going to win the basketball.
I like the wild card.
3 plays.
Yeah, that is a good team. And then Trey is going with Luka Doncic, Rudy Gobert, and what inspired all of this, Mo Wagner.
These Europeans, man, they can't keep their tempers.
No, 3 for 3.
So here we go. Who will come out victorious? Help us track this throughout the postseason. And yeah, a big part of it is your team just moving on.
Yeah.
So Tass with the Tatum is really smooth because nobody has a Nugget. That's the only Celtic. Yeah, man, these upsets are even more important now.
Yeah, which Nugget would you pick? Jokic, I guess? I mean, he does get technicals. He's got 7 this season, but...
Yeah,
it's a quiet team in general, I would say.
They are.
Yeah,
except for Michael Malone.
What did Jokic do?
Had a coach in here.
Jokic got he got tossed once, didn't he?
He did against the Suns for a clock and campaign.
That's who it was. Yeah.
Jamal Murray did too, did he not? I think.
I don't remember that.
Maybe I'm wrong.
Okay, that's the Instigator Draft. That was a lot of fun. Okay, we have hit the time of the show for Tass to pay off picking the Detroit Pistons by default. He didn't really pick them. We gave him the Detroit Pistons.
Yeah, people were saying, you shouldn't get it. You came in and got looped into that battle. No, I wanted to be part of that. I wanted to be part of that because, number one, I thought the Pistons would be better than they were.
True.
And number 2, I don't mind some spices. Some seasoning.
So, yeah, we'll remind everyone, if you're just joining us here, this is why we're doing this. It's because we each took one of the shittiest teams in the league, and we said, hey, whoever finishes dead last has got to take down some nut dust. I do not remember why it was nut dust.
I do.
What was the reason?
The Hornets and the Wizards played each other, and it was the next day we were doing the show, and I was talking about how the previous night I'd eaten an entire bag of nuts, including just dumping the dust into my mouth, and how intense it was.
Okay.
And then, we just started talking, and this is the bet.
Okay.
Intense as in hot, or just it was tough to swallow? That's what I'm wondering.
Flavor overload, almost. I mean, it's not necessarily hot and spicy, but it's like dumping an entire thing of seasoning in your mouth. It's going to be crazy feeling.
Wow. So that's what we're doing here. You were fine with the Hornets. It came down to the final day. The Wizards finished with 15 wins, Pistons 14. So Tass, you also have rapid fire, so you're going to have to sort of... Up to you. Do you want to do it in one shot? Do you want to sip it like it's a sherry while we're doing rapid fire?
Yeah, I don't know. What's your take on consuming water at the same time? That's illegal.
I think it's legal because I don't know what's going to happen.
I don't know how that.
It might be tough to not.
I sort of like to see you just try it and just see what happens.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. I like my sodium. I've got no problems taking this back. This feels a little like the cinnamon challenge.
Yeah.
Because it's not going to go down too easy.
I wouldn't think so.
But anyways, I'll clean it up
right.
once I
You think you're going to
choke on
cough
it.
and stuff?
CBD.
Okay. Here he goes. There's a little crunch even still.
Yeah, there's he's some full nuts in there.
He might be enjoying it.
Yeah, I didn't ask about chewing. Is that allowed?
Well, yeah, there were some actual, some nuts.
This is tasty.
It looks like you've gotten to the chili lime layer.
This is unfortunately deeper than it looks. This little mini goblet.
Okay, Tass has now consumed all the nut dust. And he's
I haven't swallowed it because I like it.
a lot of flavor. Yeah,
Luckily, I came hydrated, so I think that's helping out with the saliva.
that's good.
This is going down too easy. Can I have a second, please? All right.
Waiter, we'll take another nut dust sherry, please. All right.
Fantastic that I didn't have to cough it up and
Yeah.
nobody has to clean it up. Great for
Is
everybody.
it spicy at all? I mean, I know it was like a
Nice.
chili,
nice.
chili lime or something like that.
It's
Yeah,
a
okay.
great flavor.
All right.
I usually eat bland food, so this is nice.
Well,
No,
damn.
no, I don't.
Now I wish the Wizards lost. Look tasty.
I'm going to feel great all
Another
day.
glass of dust on the Instigator Draft?
Oh, should we?
All right.
Or maybe we need to find something else.
Yeah,
I don't
something
know.
worse.
All right, good stuff.
Yeah, I wanted to finish it before doing these rapid fires because nobody wants to hear me saying things as I chew it. So
Okay, rapid fire time. Tass has the questions. We've got the answers as we wrap up the Drop Podcast here. Let's do it.
Dante DiVincenzo is ineligible for the Most Improved Player award despite playing in 81 games. The rule states one must appear in 65 games with at least 20 minutes played in each one. The Big Ragu did play in 20 minutes or more in 62 games, but was short by 9, 11, and 20 seconds in those next three in games 63, 64, and 65. No rounding up. That's illegal. I hated seeing that.
Oh,
I hated
so
seeing that
dumb.
for him. So the question is, what's a rule you hate?
A rule I hate. This is inspired by something I saw on Instagram recently. Davey Rickenbacker, former Survivor contestant, lives in Atlanta. I follow him on the IG, looking at his stories, and he got kicked out of the Dogwood Festival here in Atlanta because he had a dog.
Really?
Yeah.
What?
Really?
No pet dogs allowed at large outdoor events here in Atlanta. And specifically the Atlanta Dogwood Festival.
That's an outdoor event.
It's in Piedmont Park.
Piedmont Park.
Huge.
It's huge, and you cannot have a dog on leash, of
On a
course.
leash, yeah.
That's a rule I hate. Because I get it. Not everybody likes dogs.
Sure.
But if the dog is on the leash, then you don't need to deal with the dog if you don't like dogs, right?
Right. Exactly.
And guess what? You're at a festival. There's a lot of sitting around. People love dogs. A lot of people love dogs.
Yeah.
Oh, can I see that dog? Can I pet that dog? It's just fun to look at that dog.
That's unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
That's a rule here in
Yeah,
Atlanta.
it's Atlanta. Yeah, looked it up.
And dogs in the name.
Dogwood Festival.
Yeah.
Are you allowed to bring wood?
I bet they allow it.
I bet they do too.
That was last week, was it not?
It was recent, yeah.
But Rickenbacker, what's his name? Sorry.
Rickenbacker, yeah.
What year was that? I wonder if they've had a rule change.
No. What year was that? What do you mean? It just happened.
He just got kicked out.
Yeah, that's why I saw it. Yeah.
Oh.
But he was. I thought you were asking what Survivor season
Yeah,
he was
like,
on. And I was like,
Well,
I
he
don't know.
sounds like a vet.
No pet dogs allowed. At the Dogwood Festival. The irony.
Weird.
Crazy.
All right, Trey, a rule you hate.
Traffic cameras.
Okay.
Red light cameras I'm fine with. We could honestly use them here in Atlanta because 4 people go through every red light.
Yes.
Every single one. But speeding traffic cameras, I don't like those, especially when they're at the bottom of a hill.
Ooh.
It feels like they're just trying to make money off you. I don't mind getting a ticket if you catch me. But when you're doing it with a camera, it seems unfair.
Right.
Yeah. On a hill.
There's
Yeah.
one. There's one on Memorial.
Yeah, there is.
That one's got. I know Grisham before. A couple times.
I got it the week that they put them in. Laura's like, they put in speeding cameras, don't get a ticket. and then instead I did the very first time I drove on it.
Yeah. Now that one's funny because that one I think it only activates like during school hours, like drop-offs and
right.
pickups, and I mean it's close to one, so I get that. But yeah, that's a tough one because that coming down a big hill. Yeah.
Oh, please. Memorial? There's no kids walking on Memorial.
There's no kids walking in Atlanta.
Exactly.
A lot of hills, though. You pick up speed.
Sure, yeah.
One at the bottom of every one of them.
Yeah. Ranking
Gotcha,
the money.
sucker.
Yeah.
People do drive fast on Memorial, but
Yes. They probably needed them.
yeah, probably.
I mean, I've gone down from 50 to 40 in a 25. Only during these hours. Oh, man, I was so mad that day. I got pulled over on my way to the Classic Factory. Didn't get a ticket. I was like, whoa,
Wow.
I did it. And then I got home later that day, was like bragging about it to Laura. I got pulled over and didn't even get a ticket. And there was just one waiting for me.
Oh,
sucker.
from a previous.
We saw you weeks ago.
Oh
I was
my
like, let's
God.
check this, see who was driving. It could have been you, Laura. It was me.
It was definitely.
It was 100% me.
All right, JD, a rule you hate.
Yeah, my kids, all of our kids, I mean, your kids are young, but mine's a sophomore and a senior in high school, and they can't leave the school. I hate that. Like, when I was a kid in school, would leave school all the time.
Yep.
They're not even allowed to leave for lunch. Like, they can't leave and go, like, to McDonald's or whatever for lunch.
That's a part of high school.
I know. Anyways, I hate it. It's stupid. There's a safety thing there, I guess,
Yeah.
but come on, man. My kid's gonna be 18, for God's sake.
That's crazy.
It's insane.
That's crazy.
It's insane.
Wow.
So, I don't know. These poor kids. These poor kids.
Can't even go
We would go to Johnny's burger place or video games in
Yeah.
the back, like skip English, play Galaga. It was great.
Yeah, we did the Pizza Hut buffet.
Ooh.
You know, like
Pizza
40
Hut.
guys
Great,
going there,
yeah.
just trying to take down the store. Just trying to put it out of
Whole
business.
pizza.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Oh, I grew up in a small town, so it's a little different, I guess.
I
but
guess,
You grew
but
up in Toronto. You
I
could
grew
leave.
up in Toronto, yeah. God, I'd leave and go to the movies.
Daytime
I
movie.
didn't know that was a
Leave and
rule.
go to the
That's amazing, actually.
That's across the board. Every high school or
Well,
just that high school?
DeKalb County, I
Okay,
guess.
okay.
Yeah.
All right. Boo.
Yeah. Sucks. Stupid rule.
I got a great speeding ticket leaving high school as well. Maybe that's
Wow.
saving.
Wow.
Maybe that's saving Lincoln from getting the ticket.
Maybe that's why they put them by the schools.
Yeah.
Keep them here. We're keeping them slow.
No doubt. This week, Kyle Kuzma posted an Instagram story with a pic of his Israeli teammate Denny Avdia. The caption: "Young hummus, love you, bro."
That's good.
Yeah,
That is good.
Assign a nickname to an NBA player, Skeets.
Well, I just checked Basketball Reference. Denny Avdia, if they added it. Young Hummus. No, not yet. Turbo. Never heard him called Turbo. I know a Turbo. Shout out to Gavin, who occasionally watches and listens. But yeah, no Young Hummus on Denny Avdia's Basketball Reference page. I would like to assign the nickname. I did it yesterday. I think Kobe Nightcrawler. I think there's something there. I talked about the way he moves, how he like almost teleports, how he's so explosive. Kobe White, Kobe Nightcrawler. I got a pretty good reception from
White crawler.
TK, so you pop for it. I didn't think anybody else really liked it, but
I like it.
we're gonna push it. We're gonna push it.
That's great.
It's
cool
sometimes you just
nickname,
gotta
too.
keep
Yeah.
going with it. Yeah,
That'd be cool.
Okay, so Kobe Nightcrawler. I'm going with that.
That's very good.
Good.
Trey.
You guys ready
Yep.
to start calling Jalen Brunson Meatball? It's time.
Yeah,
I said it like years ago. Somebody needs to be called Meatball. Didn't know who. Lowry was in the mix. Brunson, I think, was in the mix
Yeah, he
at
was.
the time. But now Brunson has ascended to a point where we can't just call him Brunson. There's so many Jalens in
Yeah,
the league.
yeah.
He needs something else. So Meatball it is.
Yeah,
I like it.
it's good. It just seems like a negative connotation.
It does.
A little
It's like, yeah, you're a meatball.
Like a meathead.
Yeah,
sort of,
yeah.
You Meatball.
But he plays
Hey,
with
Meatball.
Dante DiVincenzo.
Big Ragu.
Big Ragu. Yeah.
That just makes sense.
Yeah, synergy.
Yeah.
That's a whole meal right
They need
there.
Who could they call noodles? They need
You just need a noodle.
Oh, Gianna Noodle. The OG stands for Olive Garden.
Perfect.
Okay, this is good. Okay, so we gotta try and run with Meatball here in this postseason. We'll give it a go. We'll give it our best shot.
Yeah,
Sure.
You got it all, man.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
What do you got, JD?
Well, every time Luke Kennard comes up, I think he should be called the Duck. And I looked up on Basketball Reference, and Duck is there.
Oh, really?
Because, yeah.
What?
Yeah, Kennard is
I know.
French for duck, right? Of
course.
Duck in French.
I didn't know it was on Basketball Reference.
It is, and it's just not the duck, just
Duck.
So fine, okay, so that's already taken.
But he's the nerd dog.
Yeah, nerd dog's better. I know. Listen, I'm just looking for a guy to give it a nickname to.
I know.
Okay, okay, you guys are gonna have to correct me if I'm wrong, but Robert Williams, I looked on Basketball Reference. His 3-point percentage is 0, right?
Okay.
But he's got, I think his rebound percentage is like around 6.
Good rebounder. Yeah.
Yep.
You know. So anyway, he hangs out in the paint, and there's a painter named Robert Williams. So he should be called the Painter,
The Painter.
It's good.
That's a good nickname.
right?
Yeah.
I like it.
It is good.
Those are all 3 good answers.
Yeah.
3 great nicknames.
Yeah, you could have him make a commercial of him blocking a shot, and it's just a splash on a
Oh, yeah.
you
love
know, a
it.
splash of paint on a
Yeah.
canvas kind of thing, you know?
Yeah. Have you seen Robert Williams paintings, by the way? Not the basketball player, but
The painter?
the
No,
painter.
maybe I
They're
have.
freaky, man.
Are they?
Yeah, they're freaky. His most famous one that I know of is the inside cover of Appetite for Destruction, the Guns N' Roses.
Yeah.
It's that weird beast that comes out, and it's very surreal and weird. But
Yeah, these
anyway,
are crazy looking.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great stuff, everybody. Kobe White, he's the Knight Rider.
Crawler.
Yeah. I think that's right.
Night Rider's a pretty good nickname,
That's
too.
the tie-in. That's the tie-in. Do something. And we're already creating here. Brunson the Meatball. Shout out to the Big Ragu and OG and Noodle. And the Painter.
All right.
Robert Williams.
Painter.
Young Humus. Thank you, sir. You inspired. All right. While Klay Thompson was missing all 10 of his shots against the Kings, Twitter's new AI-powered trending tab interpreted the tweets to mean he was vandalizing Sacramento houses by throwing bricks at them. Here's the trending tab headline. Klay Thompson accused in bizarre brick vandalism spree.
That's awesome. They were talking about this last night after Hoops.
Yeah.
Because people were like, did he do that? Like, it was like, it got people, man.
Did it.
It did?
Yep.
It got people.
Yep.
Have you ever misunderstood something happening on Twitter?
Well, Tass, I don't know if you heard about this, but rumors from the Heat media say that Jimmy Butler and Tyler Hero had to be separated on the team bus after last night's loss to the Sixers. Apparently, Butler kept chanting 9 for 27, causing Tyler Hero to throw a punch. Didn't connect. Jimmy then yelled, 9 for 28! This is reported by Ira Winderman. Now, it got Tass. I didn't know how to answer this one. I didn't have one. I just wrote every damn day. Feels like every damn hour. I'm like, is that real? I don't know.
Yeah.
What? They make it look so real.
They make it look so real. Ball sack sports, man.
I know.
Oh, was that a ball sack?
Yours was not a ball sack. But that to me is like a verb.
Yeah. You got
You
ball
meant
sacked.
You got ball sacked.
What's the other one? Is it NBA Centel?
Centel.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that one gets you on a lot.
Oh, God.
So anyway, I'll
They've mastered it.
cheekingly go with that one. But
Yeah.
the truth is, like, every day, I have to do, like, you have to slow down and go, hold on. What, really?
Yeah.
And then you gotta, no.
Because I saw Ira Winderman's name.
I know.
If you see a name, I know.
Next level, man.
I know.
I know people do that to Woj. You know,
Yeah.
you gotta check the Twitter handle.
But you
I
didn't go
mean,
through and check
I
Ira
did not.
Winderman's tweet. Yeah.
No, I
like
just
that.
I rely on it. Ira Winderman.
He's
So
just too trustworthy.
NBA Centel, they put Centel tweets on Instagram,
I know.
and then you're like, oh, boy, that must be real. Oh, God. Anyway, all right, Trey. Misunderstood Twitter. Was there a time?
Yeah, I got a bunch of new followers, and every time I tweet something, they respond nudes in bio. I'm like, I'm just trying to tell you about our new video that came out. Now's not the time. Who are these people? They're real.
They are real.
They're very real.
Nudes in bio, or hey, you got to get in on this shitcoin right now. It's going to the moon, man. That's all I get now. Every tweet. I don't even know why I'm on this stupid platform anymore. Oh, that's amazing.
Good stuff there. Very good stuff. JD?
Same as Skeets. Everything, every day, every tweet. I'm like, what? And I don't go on.
Yeah, you're not on it very
I rarely go on. And then
You're missing a lot of nudes.
yeah, apparently maybe I should go on.
I'll send you some links.
Okay, great. Thanks. I appreciate that. Because I don't know where to find it on the internet, nudes.
They don't have them.
Tough,
They're
yeah.
only on X.
Oh, okay. All right.
That's what the X stands
that's
for.
Good to
Really,
know.
a lot of people don't know
That's
that.
why they changed the name.
Yep,
Okay, cool.
yep.
Yeah, no, fucking Twitter. I hate it. So that's it. That's my answer. Everything is confusing to me.
There it is.
There it is.
Rapid fire. After a man took down some nut dust pretty easily, almost enjoyably.
No doubt.
It was more of a reward, I think.
It really was.
Yeah.
Cheers to all of
Thank
you
you.
guys for
Cheers.
giving me some tasty
Tiny
nut
cheers.
dust.
Cheers to the Pistons.
Baby cheers.
I like that little
thing.
glass. little tiny wine glass.
Tiny whiny.
So cute.
So cute, so cute. All right, rapid fire, not so rapid, but that's the point, isn't it? Okay, tonight, play-in games. Good luck to the 4 teams trying to get in to those final 2 spots in the East and the West. I'm calling it now. We're getting a wedgie tonight. We're getting our
great.
record-breaking wedgie is happening in one of these 2 games tonight. That will be number 59. That's going to set the all-time record, so I'm excited about that. Hell, we might have 60 plus by the time we come back on Monday.
10 games.
Yeah, whole lot of basketball. We'll be here on Monday to break them all down. Keep your eyes on our playback room as well. You never know, we're going to jump on there and watch one of these playoff games. That link is in the show notes. Just join our room. It's for free, and then you're alerted when the guys go live. So always a good time over on playback. Otherwise, everybody have a great weekend. Enjoy the hoops. Till then, Clipper Bros.
You heard it here first. Have a great time. Turn up. Love you guys. Awesome.
Thanks for joining us, and remember, the nut dust challenge is way easier than the cinnamon challenge. That's real. Real. Not a Twitter trend tab thing.
Brace the weekend, people. Brace the playoffs.